Hello, supporting churches and prayer partners. This is Brother Bob Walker, Bob and Ruth Walker in Tijuana, Mexico. Wanted to give you a video report instead of our typical written letter. Since everybody's basically digital now, we thought this would be appropriate, and that way you can share it with your people however you feel, in part or in whole. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for your support and your prayers, and just thinking of us during this time when you're really just trying to cover your own things there and all of these new situations because of the COVID virus. My wife and my family and myself, we're all doing fine. I think my wife and I both had COVID-19 back in the first couple weeks of February, and we struggled for about 10 days each with something that we kept saying. We weren't thinking about COVID then, but we kept saying, I've never felt like this, and this is terrible, and it really was. So I don't know if it was just a regular influenza, although she went and got tested. She got really bad, and we had her tested for influenza A, B, speaking Spanish, and others. There's another group, but of course COVID wasn't in that group. So she came negative, and so we assumed later on that we probably both had the COVID and survived. So that's good news if we did. So, but anyways, everybody's fine. Our family, we've had some people in the church sick, and they've come out okay. We've had a couple of people here in Mexico that have passed away that are relatives, and we have a couple of people that are still very, very ill. Maybe pray for Patricia, who's kind of a close family member, not a member of our church, but kind of a close family member, and keep her in prayer. She's in the hospital with the COVID right now. And then maybe also Ruben, who's the father of one of our Bible Institute students who had to return back home yesterday because of his dad being in the hospital now with a ventilator. We stopped having services on March 26th, and of course still not having any services here, people on the property. Everything's been via Facebook and YouTube, which we were already doing, so we weren't far behind, but we've of course, built things up and doing a little bit more now than we were before. Our schools and our Bible college also closed, and we're hoping that we can open up our schools again at the beginning of June. It looks like they're going to give us permission to do that. We want to have that influence to get those people back out here. Well, we're still teaching via the internet. We'd like to get those people back here. I'm sure you too, if you were able to do that. Our children's home is fine. The finances are tight there, but we have everything we need, and they're doing fine over there. So appreciate your prayers and those that have helped us with the children's home. All our services online, plus we have kids classes, something new that we started doing for our children's, 3 to 5-year-olds and 6 to 9-year-olds. We have special classes that we've been putting together. They're pretty good, by the way. You can go on our Facebook page and then find the link to go to YouTube and see those, of course, in Spanish, but our people are doing a good job at that. Many have been visiting us through the Facebook transmissions. Last Sunday, we had over 250 watching live, which for us was an accomplishment. We've never had that many watching live, over 250. And in 3 days, this last Sunday's sermon had 6.5 thousand views since Sunday, organic views. So we haven't promoted it, paid for anything. So that was good. I think we're going to maybe push that one with a little bit of a payment, get more people to see it. We had a couple of videos that have been over 10,000. Just paying a little bit to get it out in the area here at the church, so more people are able to see it. Also, we've been using short testimony videos to share the gospel and encourage others to do the same, putting those up online. I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing similar things. But this next thing that I want to share with you, I just found out this afternoon. I still get kind of choked up when I think about it. I was shocked, to tell you the truth. I just couldn't believe it. I asked our accountant and how we've been doing the last 5 weeks since we stopped having services here on the property and just been digital. We have a couple different places that people can deposit, and we can get their offerings that way. They're still allowed to come to the property during the week, or they can come on Sunday while I'm preaching. I still come here during the regular service hours, and we have a couple of men at the door. They can stop their car and they'll go up and get their offering. But I was totally surprised at what our offerings have been. This is an average of the last 5 weeks. Nobody coming on, to a service here on their property. Our tithes are at 88% average for the last 5 weeks. That's without having anybody on the property. But our missions giving is right now, comparing to what it was before we stopped having services, is at 92%. So we have 92% of our missions giving coming in spite of the fact that nobody's coming to church. We have 88% of our regular giving coming in spite of nobody's coming to church. And so this is just, I was absolutely blown away by that, and just, God's grace, God's faithfulness, and God's people have just been faithful. We didn't know what. I'm sure pastors had, seeing this video, I'm sure you were like, what are we going to do? People aren't going to come to church. A lot of people aren't going to give, and obviously a lot of people aren't giving because they're not coming to church, but a lot of people are, and that faithful group, for a church here, the El Camino, 17 years. So, I just thought that, God deserves the glory for that, and it was just a blessing to find out. Of course, we've cut a lot of things out, and of course, no school income. So, not having the school income, we're a lot different than we were, 6 weeks ago. But we're able to survive, and I'm sure this will be over in another month or so, and we'll get back to normal. So, thanks for your prayers and your support. And we prayed for many of you by name, your churches, and I also want to say that I've been online a lot more than usual and seen a lot of you guys doing stuff online. Some of you know who you are. I don't want to mention names but some of you know because I've made comments, and just appreciate you and thank you for all that you've done and your faithfulness. And just let you know, people are getting saved. We're having people. I just was looking at I gave my testimony in Spanish, and a less than 3-minute testimony, and I was looking at a guy today, looks to me maybe he's a Catholic guy. I looked him up on Facebook, and I can't see anybody on his page that I know, but somebody probably shared my video, my testimony publicly or whatever, and this guy saw my testimony, and of course I'm giving the gospel, and a lot of other people are doing that. So anyways, we're still getting the gospel out, and we're still edifying our people and doing different things like you are, and so things are good here. Keep us in your prayers. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, feel free to call or maybe send me a text. And feel free to use our Facebook page also if you want to share something in Spanish. If you don't have a Spanish person, you have somebody you want to share some in Spanish. Lots of videos, testimonies. My wife's doing a study and getting a lot of hits. Seeing a lot of people are following her studies too. So anyways, just thank you. Wanted to give you this update. Today is April 28th. And so I brought you up to date, and God bless you, and thank you so much. Appreciate your prayers.